little tidbit of what we miss in the Gentile church when we don't understand the roots of Israel. The Feast of Sukkot is the feast of the booths. It's a feast of the when they were in the temporary dwellings, when they had left Egypt, before they got to the Promised Land. So it's kind of like where we are. I mean, we're in a temporary Sukkot, we're in a temporary booth, temporary structure, as we are waiting for Promised Land. But what's significant is there was a ceremony called the pouring of the water, the Hamayam. And the cool thing about water in Hebrew is that it's not a singular word, it's a plural word. It's the ma'im is really, I think, how you pronounce it. And, all you Hebrew people can correct me. It's such a cool word because it's the waters. I mean, and they would do this, drawing forth from the well of salvation, and they would go, I think, to the pool of Siloam, to draw forth this water for the ceremony, and they would say, with joy you will draw water from the wells of salvation. And the salvation, it means Yeshua. So really you're drawing from the well of Yeshua. You're drawing from the well of Jesus. And that's so cool in itself. But on the last day of the feast, and it says this in John 7:38, the last day of the Feast of Sukkot, which is called the Hashanah, let's see, hold on. I can't find it. But it's the last day of the feast. And they're coming forth to draw the waters from the well of salvation. And Yeshua, Jesus, stood up in the midst of the feast. And he said, I am the living waters. And if you believe in me, you will have living waters pouring from your belly. Pouring from your belly. He says, if you're thirsty, let him drink. Actually, so they're drinking of the Lord. He said, if you're thirsty, come and drink. And I will give you living waters that pour through your belly. Now all the Jews knew exactly what he was saying. He just stood up and said, I am the well of salvation. I am the well of salvation. I'm the well. Draw from me. That's what he said. Do you think that astounded the crowd? Yes. I wish so much when I was 6 years old I could have heard those words and understand what the feast was and understand what they were doing. The feast also represents the judgment that God would use about the rains, the latter rains, the rains coming in. And the feast actually hasn't been fulfilled yet in terms of prophetically fulfilled by the Lord. It is like when the full harvest comes in, the latter rain pours out. That's when the Feast of Sukkot and the Feast of our Lord is completely fulfilled.